So I'm keen on seeing what Mac can get done. We do have our classic Southeast Asian pause loading in. It's been a while, Michael Phoenix, since we've had this.
I think
There you go.
I don't know if I'm more impressed with the fact that we literally get a pause every SEA game before the game actually starts, or whether I'm impressed by the fact that they always have a different excuse these days. Because it used to be mic, it used to be sound issues. Now Jabs is having a mouse issue. You know, it's just what's next, John? What happens next?
Yeah.
Monitor blows up, air conditioning runs out. Like what's the next excuse? Here we go. Admin's heard what I'm saying. Admin's upset now. I like this admin. He's asking questions very early.
Yeah, no ETA. No response. 2 to 3 minutes, all right.
3 minutes?
Can take our time, says Tim's. ASAP.
Unplug your mouse and plug it back in, Jabs. It's not that hard. Come on, sir.
Look, it's a mouse and lag issue, okay? 2 different excuses. 2 different timings, Mike. All right? 2 things they have to take care of. Of course, we also forgot to mention, this is, of course, Abid playing against his former teammates, DJ and Tim, so that's a treat. All we lack, I do believe the gang is going to be watching as well. Maybe Gabby's out there watching his former team, along with our Mel. And that makes it almost a full squad watching over all together. Certainly
You reckon they're listening to our audio, John?
Oh, they mute it every time, I'm pretty sure.
Do they?
Sometimes okay, it depends. If they're watching the stream directly, then they probably have it in very low volume. If they're watching in-game, they probably just never click the broadcaster slot, so hey.
Well, if they are listening, Armel, I want Armel to know I love him. That's all I'm going to... Gabby, you know why you're not going to get the same love? Because you never say hello to me. If you're listening, next time you see me at a LAN, you come say hello. Otherwise, I'm going to come say hello to you, and you're not going to like it. I promise you.
I think it's funny as well. I think we were only at one LAN together with Gabby as well.
No. It was multiple. It was multiple.
I only remember Stockholm, actually.
No, remember the Filipino
Which one? Oh, yeah, right. Acer Predator, right.
Well, don't say that. We're not. Are we sponsored by Acer Predator? Don't say that, John.
I don't know. But APAC. People know what it is. APAC. Right, APAC. I forget. Right, he was there. I simply forget because it's only Tim's I remember. In fact, remembering that time, I remember Tim's yelling about the pause being so long. He's probably yelling right now in their Discord call. It's like, start the game!
You know what reminds me of as well, that event, is the one interaction you and I did have with Gabby, was him complaining to the admins that I was too loud and he could hear exactly what I was saying. You remember that, John?
Yeah, I remember that as well.
Gabby complained about me being too loud. And I said, well, Gabby, that's my job, sir. You do your job, put your headphones on and play the game.
To be fair, we were right next to their booth, so
I don't care. I don't care. Gabby's always got something wrong.
What was that? Well, at least, good old Tim's is there saying, can use her pause time in the background. It's like, so long! Start game! Nate! Why isn't game starting?
Your Tim's imitation is actually unbelievably on point. It's incredible how accurate you get.
Yeah, when he's yelling, it's like that. And the way he was yelling was like, he was really yelling like that for like 2 minutes. I missed that. Do you get the go-ahead? No more yelling from Tim's, as we should be able to get into the game. At the very least here.
Shout out to Armel. I know you're watching, Armel. Shout out to you, sir. Mwah. Miss you.
Merienda King himself. They had some good banter when he stood in suddenly for Yoa. Speaking of, there were some power issues in that qualifier, Mike. Yoa had to sit out after game 1, and Armel stepped in, the chief himself. Stepped up to the plate and brought it to 5 games.
Well, here we go. First blood might be drawn early here, John. Tim's is going to get spotted. Frostbite will lock him down, and he is certainly dead. Nice, easy pick-off onto Tim's. Very nice smoke rotation from Aurora. And you gave first blood to Jabs, which is not exactly what you'd like to see if you're Boom Esports.
Yeah, it's just going to skyrocket from there. 400 gold in the bank. Not sure if he managed to get the soul assumption off, even as the projectile flies out. So you might have gotten some bonus gold from that as well. This Visage just racks up real damn quick, and Aurora are still set to go. It didn't cost them too much. Still full mana, still have one more blood grenade, can contest further if anyone steps out here on Boom.
Absolutely. Nobody will, though. Everyone just sitting back now, realizing they do not wish to give any more bonus gold away to the Visage. Though we'll see, because DJ is running up along with Ghost, but it seems like he will leave anyway, so Q will just get out of the area. Maybe topside they might fight, and they do a little bit. In fact, Boom Esports ends up with a 3-for-1 trade on the bounty runes. So Aurora actually end up giving one bounty rune away.
I mean, makes up for it, right? They give you first blood, you hand them a bounty rune, you want this game to be even so you can prove a point here from Aurora. All according to plan, of course. You get a nice sentry down, doesn't quite spot the obs, but should be able to when someone walks up onto that ramp at some point. Perhaps if Mac goes to clear out a camp, which shouldn't be happening anytime soon in this mid lane matchup. Do you have that Pangolier versus Primal Beast? Again, this is playable for both sides, maybe a little bit easier for the Primal, but Pangolier is fairly tanky with its double jump shield crash on hand, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue for Mac. I'm keen on seeing how big the emphasis is on the runes here, although.
Bottom lane, DJ, he is gone. Jabs gets him another time, and well, this is what we were discussing in the draft stage, John. When you see an Ench, if you can fit a Visage, just take the Visage, because it's a very easy lane.
Yeah, there's just no durability here whatsoever for DJ. He opts for the Spellbound as well, trying to reach out a little bit further, so he doesn't have that free healing from Nature's Attendance Wisp just popping out from him when he does take right-click damage. Not that it would proc anyhow if you're just spamming spells at him. And already a very strong start here for Jabs. Ghost gonna have his work cut out. Again, this lane matchup is not that great for Luna. You are pretty much almost melee range. Jabs has a lot of reach. There's a lot of free damage they can pump out with Impale Mind Flare into Soul Assumption to add charges up. The chase down potential down the line once Grave Chill is up as well does not feel that great for the side of Boom, sir. They're going to have to try to work this lane out as best as they can. They do have... they did block off the large camp, so no pulls coming out here for Q, and they open up their own small campus. They do manage to at least find some punishment up top here.
Yeah, Carry does end up going down. Tims will pick up a nice easy pickoff for himself, and in fairness, this is another pretty decent offlane, right? On Boom side of things, like the Underlord and the Rubik is pretty annoying to deal with. I didn't quite expect the early kills to come out onto the CM, but nevertheless, chances are these two in the offlane of Boom Esports probably going to be pretty happy.
That they are. FBZ getting a nice pull back, just going to get some free farm as well. They managed to get the pull into the large camp on top of it, although TA2000 is around to at least try to soak up a little bit here. And this lane is doubly annoying even as you level up, right? Like, even with, say, a level 6 threat for TA2000 down the line, going into Atrophy Aura plus Fade Bolt means you really don't have damage here as a Wind Ranger. In fact, that's going to be a persistent issue for TA2000 outside of Maelstrom procs. And the physical right-click output of TA2000 is just not going to feel great as long as FBZ and Tims are around to cast 3 spells.
Yeah, absolutely. Not going to feel very good whatsoever. It seems like FBZ is already having a very good time in the laning stage, just completely uncontested here on the Underlord. The same thing can be said for Aurora, though. I mean, both offlanes are having a fantastic time thus far. Seems like the bottom lane has warmed up just a little bit here for Boom, so Ghost is having a pretty damn good time himself on the Luna. Not really contested at all on this Luna whatsoever, but again, with those bonus kills you got for Jabs, you don't really need to worry about CS too much if you are the Visage right now. DJ looks like he has managed to get that level 1 enchant, so he's going to try and be annoying, but the jump is there onto Ghost. They'll let him go after one Soul Assumption. Just kind of setting up. In fact, there's another one. But they'll have to wait for the next stun out from Q to go for that kill.
They are poking and prodding quite hard onto Ghost. He does still have a full set of tangos on him.
He's dead.
Although,
Ghost is dead. Yeah, I was quite surprised by the fact that he actually ran back up to the creep wave. Because it was pretty obvious what was going to happen if he was within range of Q.
yeah, I mean, he already popped full wand. And he popped whatever charges he had on his wand already, so we wouldn't have that flash healing on hand. And despite the CS going so well, like you mentioned, Jabs is racking it up. Soul Assumption kills with the Death Toll, just getting a lot more gold as well here for Jabs, despite that slower CS. They are TPing Tims down here, though.
They need the help. Tims is going to come in to try and secure a kill onto Jabs, but Jabs is just casually walking out. In fact, Q now tanking the gank. In fact, Cowrie's here now. They want Ghost another time. There might be a walk of shame coming. Cowrie, he's got a Crystal Nova in a couple seconds. He just needs to land it. Oh, Ghost, don't turn around.
What?
Oh no, Ghost and DJ goes down to Jabs. At least Tim's cleans up the Visage and Q, but oh, Ghost is making a walk of shame back. Jabs got another kill. This is just such a poor start for Boom.
Yeah, I mean, there was some hesitation there from Ghost. Like, he talked twice about turning around to Lucent Beam, gave enough time for Cowrie to actually get that Frostbite off. And it's just a jumble of a mess here as they are working up top. They know Tims isn't around to save FBZ.
I mean, FBZ, he's a tanky boy. They're going to try. With the soul assumptions out from Jabs, it could be a lot easier to get this done. And in fact, Jabs is just waiting for the kill secure, but it won't work out. I mean, had Jabs spammed his soul assumption, they might have had a much better chance of getting that kill, but he does hold out on it, and FBZ will survive another day.
Quite enough magical burst, but you are applying that pressure. You're working the map really well in Aurora. Even if that kill doesn't line up, you're giving some soul EXP out to Q. You know Tims is still held down here, along with DJ working his way back bot.
Again. They want Ghost, you can see it. Tims is going to be in the tree line to block the way for Jabs. In fact, they're going to try and turn now onto Jabs, expecting this rotation to come in, though Jabs going to try and man up. Here comes Q from the tree line, landing a two-man stun, and Jabs is gonna make it out. That was a lovely trap that was laid by Tims, expecting that kind of rotation. Sadly, however, they are unable to claim the Visage kill.
Just a little bit too tanky with even the level 1 Gravekeeper's Cloak. The initial burst just not quite enough. They've got Mac joining in here, though.
They're going to try and just get Cowrie at the very least, and they do. Nice little Fade Bolt from Tims. That'll be his 4th kill of the game on the Rubik, so Tims is having a really good time in terms of kill score right now, but when he is the +4, John, you know, it only goes so far.
Middle tower is under attack.
That it does. It's some very important EXP for Tims to find. Again, there are some really big spells to steal, like stealing Soul Assumption can be nice, stealing Grave Chill can be nice, all of the CM spells are great, the Nyx spells can have some utility as well. So it's not the worst hero to actually give these kills and gold towards. Mind you, Tims is taking literally all of the kills Boom has. Maybe it's a little bit too much, but it's still fairly early in the game. Your Luna's not dishing out a lot of damage. Mac hasn't been able to find himself an angle in yet. The mid lane matchup has still worked pretty 50-50. Abed keeping up, but perfectly happy just holding this lane as well. Already has the phase boots up. In fact, has a smoke ready on Abed if they want to rotate somewhere.
Abed's going to connect here with Q. Trying to wrap around through the Radiant jungle. They're going to run into Mac. Pulverize, of course, is not currently available, so Abed will not be able to pick him up. Abed getting a bit far in. Ooh, Onslaught away, and well, he does bait a TP out from Tim, so that is something. Does get a free TP baited out, and that's going to be about it for him. He'll back out of there as top lane now. They'll find DJ once again.
Yep, use that space on mid quite nicely.
Abed
ensures that there's no one to kind of try to get anything done up top in response. FBZ, again, I mean, he has the Fiend's Gate ready, but no one really to connect with. And this goes back to your point in draft. Boom are going to have to play a little bit more passive. They need more time to farm up in Ghost. Mac's not ready to really show up. Needs to wait to initiate with Blink, because his supports can't really do that for him either. And they're already eating up a lot of map space here on Aurora. Even with the tier 1 still standing, already hunting down bot. Not getting too much forward vision down just yet, but ensuring that Jabs has a free lane to shove in. They've got the familiars, they can try for a quick siege onto the tier 1 bot, and Boom just doesn't have that same siege potential just yet. Although,
mid lane, they're going to try for Abed. Onslaught in from Tims, and Abed has gone maybe a bit too far this time, though still trying to get his way out. They'll pop the Rolling Thunder finally. Abed, he'll still be on the high ground. He actually might just get away. They'll even drop the Fiend's Gate, and eventually he will die. Though it does take a hell of a lot of work, but now suddenly Boom Esports looking to that mid-tier 1 tower. And I'll tell you what, John, I thought it was going to be Aurora setting the pace in this game 1, and it certainly felt that way for the first 10 minutes or so, but suddenly Boom Esports, they'll find a mid-tier 1 tower, and well, suddenly they're looking like the stronger team.
I'm surprised Aurora doesn't respond. In fact, TA2000
getting lifted up back into the pit of Malice. Perfect play here from Tims. Is now TA2000 trying to get away, but Tims just returning the favor with the focus fire, and he's out. Oh, Tims. Hey, this man, he's just too good sometimes. There's Abed. Abed will try to get his way out of there, but the chase is on again. Looks like they will have to leave him be as they don't have the spells to throw out. But I'll tell you what, Tim's on this Rubik. He's making it look good again, John. Almost level 7 prior to the 10-minute mark.
And you're already seeing again those issues for TA2000. He gets committed on by a Rubik Underlord. There's no damage with Whirlwind. There's no threat with a Fade Bolt coming in. They'll try onto FPZ.
They will give it a crack. He does have help there with the Rubik, but he needs a bit more than that, I think, as FBZ still dropping does go down. Of course, the Rubik could not help out whatsoever against 4 heroes. So Aurora, they'll get away with another nice pick-off. And of course, that is another kill to go the way of the Visage.
Just ramping up that timing for jabs, already having that full mech along with the 2 bracers and arcanes. Aurora play already up, very tanky on that Visage up front, with a lot of damage. See if they find an angle, as we do get a pause this time from Mac. Mr. Lelouch having some issues himself now. They are getting some good space out from Boom, though, right? Ghost is uncontested bot. We saw that forward movement from the supports. We saw them scouting to secure the tier 1. Not able to get that forward vision means Ghost is still relatively secure in trying to play catch-up here on the Luna. And I think when it comes down to the core, the Luna has a little bit less to be worried about. I mean, Spike Carapace is still going to be annoying down the line if you don't manage to BKB through it, as we do get our admin agent PJ asking mouse issues this time for Boom. All right. Cool.
Mouse issues again, I think you meant, John.
No, it was Aurora last time, was it not? Or
it was,
yeah,
but it was another mouse issue.
Yes. Exactly. It's a different mouse. It's a different mouse. A different issue.
Okay. You know, John, in my 6 or 7 years of casting, my mouse has never had a problem. I've got to tell you, not once. Wireless as well.
Oh wow! Look at you. You don't have to flex on us, Michael Phoenix.
I'm just saying, maybe the teams need to hire me to fix these problems, John. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure Gary's listening and very keen to hire you, Michael Phoenix. Oh, he's shocked. He's shocked.
Was Gary memeing when he said he was stepping down as CEO, or was that just the whole meme around
it's a meme
FBZ?
every time.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's a meme around FBZ being the real CEO, and you know, like the Boom admin had that picture of "Thank you, Gary." I love that black and white picture they post every now and again. It's a really great meme.
Oh, that's great.
It's so nice. Boom's back in C. We can, we have someone to meme about. You know, I miss talking about Gary Onko without having to look for awkward segues into how can I fit Boom in this conversation.
Yeah.
You know, they're here now. We can talk about it. They're playing
back.
right now. Whoa.
Welcome back indeed. If you just tuned in, we've had more pause time than game time, I think, so far between these two teams, which is, again, pretty traditional. Pretty traditional. For any aspiring SEA casters, make sure you charge hourly if you are casting this region, because, you know, for obvious reasons, as we are going to go ahead. Smoke is there from Aurora. DJ, I think they've spotted that out, but it's too late. You'll get caught out by Q, and it's going to be a nice, easy pick-off eventually.
And they take it. Not the biggest kill to find off of that smoke, but again, you're more than happy to just get some kills going, keep the scaling up on Jabs and Abed, keep the pressure on Boom. Not that it's in a spot of a map that really has a lot being done by Boom anyhow outside of this top siege by Mac and Tim's. You are still getting space out here for Ghost, who is still, again, somewhat keeping up, still behind TA2000, to eventually start to catch up, especially as the Mask of Madness is finished up.
Oh, Mac.
Though, a little bit forward here.
He's very, very forward. I'm guessing you just misread the map, but he was so far forward. So after taking that tier 1 tower, he just got that, you know, a little bit greedy for the next creep wave, and it does cost him quite heavily.
It does. That's the bigger pickoff you're looking for here on Aurora, 6-9. As Aurora, again, they are finding this early pressure. I think there are still a lot of issues to consider here for TA2000. He is just going for Maelstrom into BKB. So understanding that without the BKB, he's really not going to have that much output. Not a lot of ways to play with all the control that Boom can leverage out here, especially with the enchant, of course, stopping him from wind running around. So I do like this build up for TA2000, skipping Gleipnir, just wanting to be able to join in and play with that early tempo the rest of the lineup has. And Boom, for their part, they're starting to work into a Crimson Guard for FBZ. Does have the casual cloak just to ensure some survivability from the magic spam coming in. You've got the Ags being rushed here by Mac, already has that Blink Dagger up. And again, you're just farming up everything you need on Ghost. Still a ways off from being fully kitted out on that Luna, but with a Mom, at the very least, he can start to close that gap between him and TA2000. I do want to say that it does feel like Aurora are maybe under slightly a bit more pressure to play a bit quicker. But again, they're 6 to 9. They managed to clear out bot tower relatively early. Top's already not quite under pressure. I feel like I want to see them make some moves into a tower push. Maybe onto mid, cut off the triangle somehow, or start to play deeper on that bot jungle to try to hunt down Ghost a little bit more.
It sounds like it seems like they're probably going to wait for the pipe on jabs before they really get going. I think as a 5-man unit, as now Q looks like he will run into FBZ. Does need a bit of help here. He doesn't exactly have a Dagon up yet, and even if he did, I don't think it would be enough damage. They are incoming though. Here comes TA2000. Q still patiently waiting. FBZ, he will back off, realizing something is a little bit awry. Does get his way out of there just in the nick of time.
Drags all of that attention down bot for a little bit. They're hugging the triangle. Big stacks to be cleared out here by Aurora. TA2000 is going to have free reign to get that done. Just with a whirlwind, although it's not quite enough to clear out the stack in its entirety. Boom have not been able to scout it out either and try to clear it out themselves. It's a bit of a stalemate in terms of getting stuff done on the map. Both sides are just farming up. And again, for the side of Boom, this is probably the best bet, at least until Aurora starts making moves again in around 2 minutes, when this full pipe is back up on jabs, or is up on jabs. You've got the BKB being rushed here by Abed, so he's not going to have concerns. And again, is going to be able to pulverize down Mac. If he is going to try to dance around with a Rolling Thunder, you've got some answers in your Primal Beast now as well, once that BKB is up and running. I do like the position of Boom, though. They're just taking over the top jungle. We haven't really seen Aurora fully take over bot. So they've lost access to their top jungle. You still have bot jungle access for Boom overall. And Ghost is still relatively safe farming up. And it is a better situation in terms of just farm build-up for Boom in that sense. As long as they're not dropping random kills to jabs, you are getting that scaling slowly being built up here.
Well, Q's got a Dagon now up, so at the very least the Nyx Assassin does now have that solo kill potential on certain heroes. Very, very concerning if you are something like the Luna or either of the supports. Though it does seem like he won't be trying to make moves too early on with this new Dagon pickup. So he will just kind of sit back and relax and continue the farm game for a little bit longer. And that is kind of the name of the game for the past 5 minutes. Both sides just farming. Neither one too interested in trying to force any team fights, as we do now have FBZ with the full pipe of inside up. And Jabs, he just bought his one out, so it's on the way on the courier. We'll see which team wants to move first, though. It seems like Boom may be the ones to move. As DJ, Tims, and Mac have both moved up to the high ground of that mid lane. The thing is, though, Aurora, they seem very well aware this is happening, and they do back off successfully.
Again, just a little bit of poking and prodding from both sides. No hard commits just yet. Maybe trying to utilize this haste on Mac, but not able to really catch anyone too far out here. A little bit of a scurrying around from Q.
Oh, he's got him! Oh, it's not enough. It is not enough, but Jabs will claim the kill as now Mac with the Rolling Thunder trying to set up. In comes FBZ, but there's a lot of heroes here from Aurora. This does not look like the fight Boom Esports wanted. They'll keep trying, but they've got to give up FBZ. FBZ's dead. There's no saving him. He's out of there. Now, and Boom, they wanted the fight even though they saw DJ die like that, and well, it does cost them.
It does. And you're not going to get any sort of commitment out from Ghost until he's a little bit more farmed up. Start that siege onto the mid. Boom's still coming in for the defense, though.
There's a lot of emphasis on protecting this mid-tier 1 tower. Of course, not letting Aurora open up the map for themselves and just You can't quite blame them, because with the draft Aurora has, they will farm the whole map quite easily if the towers are down. And so Boom Esports continuing to just buy as much time as humanly possible here for Ghost to get that farm required on the Luna. Still, he is falling behind. I mean, TA2000 still ahead of him. Of course, Jab's picking up as many kills as he's picked up this game is still ahead of net worth as well. And I'm really starting to question where the damage is going to come from. You know, with all these buffs that are being provided here by this Visage, you start to wonder, do they actually have enough damage throughout these fights?
Yeah, it really stems down to Ghost joining in. Feels like once this Luna is kitted out, there should be enough damage. But as it is right now, just Underlord plus Pangolier is not much damage at all. Even DJ with the impetus isn't quite ready to just be spamming from the back as well. We do need quite a fair bit more time here, and Aurora's not giving that time.
The bait, Mac, he went for the damage amp room, but he's been caught out with a beautiful frostbite into the freezing field of Cowrie, and they are just as good as dead. Yikes, even FBZ caught out of the mid lane, nowhere to go but down. He is dead. 3 for the price of 0. And of course, Aurora, they will successfully take the mid-tier 1 tower.
Yeah, again, it's like you said earlier there, Mike. Once that pipe was up, once the full auras were ready on Jabs, they don't really have anything to worry about. They can just rush in. Don't even have the BKB up on Abid yet. Doesn't feel necessary at the moment. And all Boom can do is just sit back and farm. Again, it just boils down to this draft with a Pango mid and an Underlord off with Enchantress and Rubik as your support duo. There's no burst damage. There's no direct ways of initiating. They'll try onto Jabs at the least.
Jabs is not an easy target to take down, though. They'll drop the Pit of Malice. They are trying with the Lucent Beams and the Eclipse being committed. Jabs, he will actually drop. It takes 5 heroes to make that work, but they do make it work in the end. So Jabs will go down, and it seems as though Boom Esports, they're going to try pressuring through the mid lane once again. The TA2000 now going to rock up looking for a shackle, but will miss. The Ghost gets caught by an impale, and Ghost, he was alone there for a moment. TA2000, he'll just chase him down. Ghost, oh, he's as good as dead. There's no running from the Wind Ranger. It's now Arbit. Picks up the Pango, mid-rolling thunder, catches him out with the Pulverize, and he's gone to boot. Even DJ will be left behind to die. It was that a few seconds there where they left Ghost to farm the creep wave in the mid lane, and it was more than enough to buy the space.
Just a little bit unfortunate for Ghost. Couldn't quite Manta dodge out from the Impale as well. Just ends up falling. You did see how long it took once that connection was made. With FBZ around, with that pipe, with the Atrophy Aura, there isn't that much damage from TA2000, but there's no sustain here as well from Ghost if you can't turn around and commit to try to lifesteal back up. Great timing in BKB for Abid as well. Again, we were talking about this item just allowing him to hold onto Mac, and the Pango's not going to have any easy answers for that. Trying to fiddle Lincolns at this point is a little bit of a pipe dream, as even the Ags is going to take its time here for Mac on Boom's end. Already have the Vanguard up and running on Jabs as well, so going for the full Crimson. There's the Guardian Greaves down the line. On top of that he can also farm up on Jabs. And at that point, I'm really not sure where the damage comes in. The only reason Boom managed to find Jabs was because he was completely isolated without the rest of his team. You're not going to see that many opportunities with those kinds of kills too often here. And even if Boom were trying to actively hunt, the initiation's just so awkward. Look at this. I mean, it's not the same as Aurora. They could just send out Q, scout out, look for an opportunistic kill solo, and maybe even just set up.
Oh, I thought he may have run into Tim's there, but barely misses out on the Rubik. He's waiting for Ghost, though. He knows Ghost was farming that top lane. The Q is very patiently waiting. He's got a level 3 Dagon as well, and Ghost is running right towards him. This should be a kill. Q, does he have the damage? He might be a little bit short, and he won't try. See, if you have the max level Mind Flare, he probably would have gave that a crack. But without it, he'll let it go.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Aurora, again,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They've
got the entire map under control. Yeah.
Rolling Thunder's out. Q going to be hunted down here by Mac, but can they actually kill him? The answer is no. In fact, TA2000, he's the one chasing them down. But they will be forced to run as Tim's will drop. And the rest of Aurora, once again, getting away pretty much free. No cost.
Yeah, it's Boom that has to commit. Again, they end up committing the Rolling Thunder from Mac. Not the longest cooldown. Still going to be down that for a team fight, giving Aurora a lot of opportunities. They are connecting onto mid.
Oh, Q. Oh, he's so close. Oh, on the Soul Assumption. It's going to do it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Q had a choice there. Did he want the hero or did he want the courier? The courier did have the rest of his Ags on there, so I think the courier may have actually been more worth it to take, but nevertheless, they do secure another nice easy pick-up.
That they do, and with another death toll Soul Assumption kill for Jabs.
Are scanning.
I believe he's got the full gold coming out now for the Crimson Guard. And Aurora, again, didn't really have to commit that many big spells. They are still ready to go, sneaking around with smokes. The side of Boom just lack play. They lack a way to initiate, they lack a way to start these fights on their own. They still lack a lot of farm on Ghost, and even FBZ, right, still going for his own Crimson Guard as well. No mecha on hand in comparison. It's just a difficult shell to pierce through on Aurora. Again, you have to be concerned about where Q's scuttling around on the map. Your sentry coverage here on Boom isn't particularly amazing. You've got some choke points you can scout out now, but the triangle's completely exposed. Your lanes are exposed for the Nyx to just roam around here. They are playing it safe on Aurora, not pushing too hard out. Just going back to secure some farm. Maybe think about Roshan as the next big objective as well if they find a big teamfight win. Boom should be aware of that. They've got their own BKB up and running on Ghost, but there's still the damage issue on hand here for Ghost. Going for the Khan next to rectify that, but it's just so much farm. Like, this Luna has caught up, number 2 in net worth, above Abed and Jabs now, but TA2000 has been given so much free room past laning phase. Sure, laning phase was a little bit rough for TA2000, but he had all the ancient stacks. Boom weren't able to scout out or contest. And they've not been able to try to snipe this Wind Ranger, because how do you snipe someone when you've got Enchantress and
Ghost.
a Rubik as your
Oh,
supports?
Ghost. Not like this, Ghost. He's going to try and fight back here. In fact, he'll pop the BKB just to be able to get away, but Abed's right on his tail with the Pulverize ready. He just needs to get within range, and he's got him. Ghost is dead. DJ will drop to boot. Mac is rolling around, but he's hitting nothing. He'll try to run away, but the Rolling Thunder's going to wear off in the shackle. TA2000 lands it perfectly, and that'll be a double kill for the Wind Ranger. 3 for the price of 1 in Aurora's favor, and they're onto the tier 3 tower. It's been a pretty one-sided game, number 1, I want to say here, John.
That it has been. Again, for Boom's part, it's really down to just how much more play Aurora has. They've got great supports for setting up kills. You've got a lot of activity coming out from Q. You had a runaway lane for Jabs into that Enchantress Luna, which just couldn't do much here from Boom. And they hit their power spikes a lot faster. For Boom, it really relied on maybe a stronger start here for Mac, so he'd have a little bit more of a level advantage, try to get some burst plays out, connect with FBZ a little bit more, which they did do a couple of times. Just not enough as the game started to drag on. Roshan, the next play here for TA2000, has the full Daedalus up. Doesn't have the damage to just clear out Roche. And the side of Boom can't really fight into that.
Absolutely not.
They just don't have damage.
They don't have much of anything right now. Boom Esports, it's looking pretty rough at the moment. It really does go all the way back to the Visage. Like, now you've got a full Guardian Greaves up, the Crimson, the Pipe, like, you see it every team fight. They've got to commit so much to kill one person. And after you kill that one person, who usually is the Visage, it just, you've got nothing left in the tank. Here we go again. Mac, don't. Mac, it's greedy to farm the next creep wave. He'll run. He'll get out of it. Q was hanging around in the tree line waiting to see if he found an opportunity, but he does not.
It's patiently. It's pushed around. And does have a Dagon level 3 for that burst. With the Aegis up on TA2000, nothing to be too scared of. Maybe look for a pick-off outside while Boom are still trying to play outside her map. I don't see the high ground defense going that much smoother for Boom. It's a good choke point to play with a Pit of Malice, but that's about it. Maybe if you can isolate out and get a good Eclipse on top, but again, with a Pipe Crimson Guard, it just doesn't feel like you've got that burst at all.
TA2000, he found Tim's. Should be a nice easy pick off here for TA.
Radiant are scared.
Doesn't even need to pop the focus fire, just gets it done the old-fashioned way. Meanwhile, mid lane, there is a bit of a chase on Arbed, but Arbed's actually running back towards them. Like, he's gonna BKB up with a Blade Mail and a Shiver's Guard. They're not gonna kill him. Even with 3 of them, they're just not gonna kill him.
No. It's just way too much. There's just a lack of burst, really, again, from the draft here on Boom. And I mean, it's actually astounding that they're still able to dip outside of their high ground to still find some farm.
Radiant's
Still
top
that tier
tower
2
is
up
under
top to clear
attack.
out here from Aurora, but the high ground threat is going to be opening up soon. And again, there's just no major concerns. We've got the full Shivas on Abed on top of everything else, Guardian Greaves for
Radiant's top
jabs,
tower has fallen.
Blink Dagger fully done on Q to get some forward positioning going for themselves. And the high ground of Boom, it's down to how well can you execute, right? Can you get Mac to roll around, fully lock someone down, try to get some damage out from Ghost somehow? It just feels difficult, if not nearly impossible here, although, no.
Well, back off. That's the one thing with Aurora, you know, they do tend to play very conservative. You know, they don't need to take any risks. They control the whole map, they'll just farm the whole map, and well, for the side of Boom Esports, they're the ones that need to smoke out and find a way back into this game. Here's the smoke out now. They're going to run through the bottom lane, but already the camps have been cleared out. There's nothing to farm here for Ghost. He might just use the twin gates to get to the other side of the map. That might be the only play you've really got here for the Luna. And as for Aurora, I mean, again, they control the whole map here, John. Just keep farming until you see an opportunity. Q? Is he gonna... Oh, he's gonna find Tim's. He'll see Ghost as well. He just needs some help. Dust is out. Tim's was feeling it, but he is dead. I love me some Nyx Assassin. Top play.
Q has been popping off, oh?
They're coming, John. They're on a DJ now. Shackle, of course, will land. Frostbite, not really used very efficiently, but doesn't really matter, I do not believe, as TJ desperately trying to get out. Mac will jump in. DJ will actually survive. Problem is, Mac is probably going to die for this, and he does. And now Ghost, he's in the middle of everything. Oh, TA2000 just rips him a new one. FBZ caught to boot right under the tier 4 towers. TA eventually going to be forced to run away with the win run. He'll be alright. But it's fall down for the price of 1 again. It's just such a tough game here for Boom Esports.
It is. And there's just this lack of damage. Ghost going so far forward, doesn't even manage to pop Eclipse. Just trying to get some damage down on this Luna. High ground siege begins. Age is still up for a minute here on TA2000, so he can play aggressively if he so wishes. The Crimson Guard is slowing down his siege, but it's just slowing down the inevitable at this point. Although Aurora aren't too keen to push the envelope too hard, and they play it safe, poke and prod, pull back. They have Boom stuck on the high ground at this point now. So the farm escalation that Boom were trying to find is not going to be flowing out anytime soon. 20k advantage for Aurora, 9-27. Beside Boom Esports, I don't know which way you go. It almost feels like you kind of want DJ to really just scale. And he did go for that in his itemization, went for Dragonlance first, going for the Force Staff next, into Hurricane Pike. It's just a long way from being everything they need right now. I'll try with a smoke. Maybe if they find someone isolated away here, be one way to go. But again, Aurora are hugging almost just one side of the map together. Only Q really sneaks around here whenever Vendetta's up.
That's kind of the thing as well. I mean, Boom Esports, they are just wrapping around through the bottom lane once again, trying to get the waves pushed out. Ghost just trying to find an area on the map where he can actually farm. Meanwhile, Aurora, of course, they will just take the Radiant Tormentor for themselves. Q will happily take that shards for free. It's going to be even more annoying now because you've got a break on Vendetta. And in fact, They have found themselves a couple targets. Arbit just casually jumping in, but Tims will pulverize him instead. Arbit has gone a bit too far. He'll try to onslaught away. He might just make it, but the impetus shot, no, the heal's coming out. Jabs will buy him a bit more time, and Arbit, he jukes out. The Panga couldn't finish the kill. Meanwhile, Ghost is gonna go down. Ghost is gone. Mac is in huge trouble. Arbit will jump back in. Mac is down a boot. Back towards FBZ. He's trying to buy himself a bit of space. He's not going to make it. Q will cancel with the Spike Carapace. Q even giving up his life for this kill. But FBZ has nowhere to go now. He will drop as DJ, the last survivor. Probably not going to be surviving much longer though, as they call it. GG, well played. They've seen enough. And you know what? I agree with that decision.
Yeah, it's just didn't feel playable for that point for Boom Esports. Aurora managed to hit that stride from the laning phase. They have a great draft in terms of tying it together with aggression. Better here in game 2. There's a lot of pressure still on Mac. I feel like the last game was kind of on Mac, right, to pop off on that Pangolier. It didn't quite happen. This time around, the conditions for Mac to pop off with this lineup are a lot better. You've got supports that you can connect to well enough. You've got good aggression that can come out from the off lane of FBZ. So this Earth Spirit is set up for success. He just needs to find that success. The laning phase is going to be probably one of the bigger challenges up against that Timb. See if the smoke pans out for Boom. At very least this time around, Timb shouldn't be dying first.
Big wraparound. Q's got a ward on the high ground. He's expecting some kind of rotation, and he'll get it perfect. Beautiful scouting here from Q. Ruins the smoke completely of Boom Esports. At least they'll get a D ward for their trouble. That's one big positive. They'll even block the large camp. Happy days.
30 seconds to battle.
Yep. And they managed to, prevent a little bit of that early stacking up. Gonna have to expend some resources here on Aurora to clear it out.
DJ, I don't think he wants to deny his Observer ward, but he can't stop himself from attacking twice. So he can't hit it again because he'll attack twice and he'll kill it. Oh, DJ. He thought about it for such a long time. Nobody came to help him either. Everybody just left him.
It is what it is. They know there's a ward at that point. They're going to be able to de-ward. At least you don't give the gold away. You got the value from the ward early on. And they will still trade 2 for 2 in bounties. Very important up against the Elk, of course. So you're not giving that much more extra gold outside of the seed money here for TA2000. Still into that mid lane we go. You've got Abed on that Timbersaw up against Mech on the Earth Spirit. You do have the Twisted Chakram here, so you're not going for the Splinters on the chain, which on mid lane does make sense. You don't have a lot of trees to really poke and prod around that. And this mid lane is probably the most boring lane unless someone misplays. Like if Mac can get a kickback, opens up a little bit more on Abed, especially until he gets reactive armor up to, say, level 1, level 2. For the most part, it's going to be farming up. You're going to be kicking rocks. You're going to be chainsawing creeps, and that's really it. Maybe some action can break in at 4 minutes in if you can get a rotation out. There is some potential here, especially for Boom, if you can find that opening, but we'll see if that presents itself down the line. Taking a look at the top lane now. Ghost on the Luna once more, along with DJ on the Jack. Up against Jabs and Q on Kunkka and Snap. There is a lot of reach here from Aurora, but they are copying a lot more damage from Ghost. Much more willing to pop that Lucent Beam to get some aggression onto Jabs. And in this case, the Luna is not completely outranged. You're up against a melee matchup. You can actually get some free right clicks in with that Lucent Beam extra damage on the right click from the Moonstorm. There's a little bit more to show here in the lane for Ghost in comparison to Game 1.
Yeah, of course, you've got the final lane, which is the bottom lane, where you are seeing TA2000 forced to salve up, so there was a lot of early damage being provided here by FBZ and Tims. Another shard's out from Tims, so this time around he's gone a bit too far, and TA2000 looking to punish him, does land the stun, and will secure the kill himself. Carry holding back with that final right click, just allowing TA2000 to secure the kill himself with the acid spray. And that's a nice start already for Aurora.
Yep, getting it. Net kill on the Elk, accelerating his farm once again. The seed money paying off for TA2000 with such a strong laning start with Bracer up. Very tanky now on the Elk for any sort of chase down potential from FBZ and Tims. For FBZ and Tims' part, I mean, they've been trying to poke out onto Kaoru. and they have done a decent job trying to zone him away, but they're not able to fully block off the camps. There is still creeps for Kaori to play with. They don't have a delete button on the creeps this time around with a Tusk on hand. So the conditions aren't quite the same. Like, yes, the Visage still does have the damage output with Soul Assumption, but Kaori still has lane presence. The difference with Tusk and Nyx up against the Ench is pretty impactful in terms of being allowed to actually pick up a creep here.
Yeah. CTA 2000 running up again. He's just so confident here on the arc. In fact, they're going to go for another stun attempt. It'll have to be onto FBZ because they'll lose a bit of vision on Tims. In fact, now the shard's out. TA2000 being chased down, but Kaori, he'll just pop the heal on FBZ. He's been slowed by the tornado. He'll try to run, snowball out. Is it enough? I don't think so. TA2000's got a stunner throw out. One more hit'll do it. Kaori, oh, he needs another. He's not going to get it. FBZ's alright. He's fine. But the aggression coming out from this Alkench is not very fun whatsoever if you are FBZ.
It certainly isn't. Forced to buy out itself. All out of mangoes now on FBZ as well, so the mana sustain for the Soul Assumption spam isn't going to be there as frequently. And that cuts off a lot from this lane already. Like, the aggression's just not panning out in the way you'd want it here for Boom. You have Mac just coming in to grab a bounty, but isn't going to be making forward moves. There was a ward watching his movement as well. And yeah, this different tone for FBZ in comparison to Jabs. And it's going to cause some issues. It's going to be a little bit slower on the pipe, a little bit slower on the mech. Crimson Guard as well, if you're looking for that in this game. It now just kind of boils down to how much Mac can get out. As he's already looking for a move around. He's level 5, probably just looking for, again, another bounty. He's given a lot of free room out to Abed for just farming up. And that is a concern. Stimmer saw all the free space in the world once he hits 6 with a double chakram. Can be concerning if Abed does want to show up in a different lane.
Yeah. I mean, Mac's doing a decent job of just securing his own lane at the very least. Like, all he's been doing is clearing out the creep wave and running to secure runes over and over again. And Abed, of course, I mean, he's trying his absolute best to be dominant against the Earth Spirit, but Mac's not really hanging around to give him the opportunity. So there is that. As bottom lane, they're going to go in once again. They have found themselves another FBZ Visage, and Tim's trying to help, but was out of range for the snowball. Could not drag him in. So FBZ dying rather the first time, but it's a second kill for TA2000.
Yeah, and you have to remember, all the regen buried out earlier on for FBZ, so that's a salve just wasted. He's not able to just stay in the lane. It's a lot of gold stalling out on top of this debt. A 2-0 start for Aurora. The lane's looking pretty well for Aurora as well. Outside of maybe Jab's lane up top, has been a little bit of a challenge as well for the Kunkka. But that is somewhat to be expected into Luna Jakiro. Again, a little bit more reach for Ghost, a lot more poking and prodding for Bruno from the top lane.
Oh.
Deep movements out from Abed.
Mac almost dying. Abed, he missed the Whirling Death on the... Well, he missed the Whirling Death is what I meant to say here, John. I think that might have been a kill had he landed it. But Mac got the roll away just in the nick of time. Very, very nice from Mac, but the mid lane is certainly spicing up his bottom lane. They are jumping FBZ once again. The Kaori now taking a bit too much damage with their help out from DJ. Tims, he'll be able to survive. In fact, it's TA2000 who needs to run. He'll use his one charges and get the hell out, but here comes Mac now, rotating on the Earth Spirit, looking for Q. Another stun out from TA2000 will create the space, though. Q, in fact, Tims will barely survive, but Q is still looking for an angle back in. But he's got no spells to throw out. Shards up. Tims looking to fight Q now. They've got Kaori coming in, but Q dropping a little bit too low does go down. And Kaori cannot help out. He's looking for that chain lightning.
Oh.
He's looking. He needs vision. Oh, he's not going to get it. Unfortunate. Top lane, Ghost, in huge trouble, is gone. So, bottom lane, you get a support kill. Top lane, you lose your carry.
In fact, it's not the worst thing for Boom. Huh?
I mean, this might be, John. FBZ's died again.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, the moment Mac leaves that lane, TA2000 is just free to do what he wants. Has the Soul Ring, has the Chemical Rage ready. Knows there's no Spirit Vessel just yet. But my point with Boom is that it's actually really important for Mac to find this activity, even at the cost of his own Luna. You were talking about the timing into Spirit Vessel. He needs everything he can take. to get into the Spirit Vessel timing, the Luna can always recover. It's really just down to Mac being able to get some early moves in. Has the Urn up at the very least. One step forward for Boom, but still a ways off from the full Spirit Vessel itself. Great read from Aurora to just punish top when all of that commitment fought. Ghost again forced into the jungle relatively early here. Left up by his own devices, and this is allowing Jabs to also catch up a little bit. Still bottom net worth, but, you know, Kunkka really starts to get going once the levels are up. I'll try to commit onto Jabs a bit.
Well, they are going to give it a hunt. Even Mac now TPing in. A nice torrent, but Shards will be blocking the way here from Tims, and Jabs, he just accepts his death. It's a nice pickup once again here from Boom Esports. In fairness, that is the lowest net worth core on the map right now, so Jabs may not mind that much. It is buying plenty of space for the rest of his team to just keep that farm going. And I think if there's one guy you need to kill right now, it is probably TA2000. Because the Arc is going to get out of control rather soon. But they'll try for Arbed, and they don't get him. Arbed's fine. They'll take the Ancients? No, not even that. Arbed's going back in. He'll take the creeps. Mac, he'll get the Magnetize off, but is it going to matter? They'll pop a snowball trying to save Mac, but Mac is just getting annihilated here by Arbed. It's a double kill already. On a DJ they'll go. The boat will fly in. Arbed does finally go down, but it's certainly a very worthwhile kill. I mean, he gets Mac and Tims with him. And FBZ's dying again.
Oh, God.
TA2000 just runs him down another time. You know, John, I asked how long it had been since we've seen an FBZ Visage. You know, in fairness, he was playing for Nigma, so we didn't get to see him very often. But here we go.
Yeah, it's... I don't think this is down to FBZ, more so for a support choice. I get the idea with a Tusk, but again, up against the Ench, the Visage itself isn't necessarily the straightforward answer. It felt like the Nyx cutting off these creeps was the bigger tool in that lane. And you're not able to really pop off. The Visage up against Alchemist is a little bit less straightforward. It feels like this is one of the lanes where you actually want a little bit more Gravekeepers to survive through. But of course, you don't want to miss out on the Soul Assumption either. With your Facet, you're not able to play durability here.
Jabs is juking them out very nicely here, John. There's a few broken ankles up at this top lane. They're still trying to find him, but Jabs, he's out of there. The professional hide-and-seek player, Jabs, will TP out successfully as the rest of his team. They will just casually take the mid-tier 1 tower while all that was happening. In fact, Mac, he's alright. They'll leave him be.
It's almost at the point where Mac has that full Spirit Vessel, so some good bits of news here for Boom. They could try to commit onto TA2000, nothing defensive being built up by him yet. Again, just rushing the Radiance as we tend to see Alchemist go for. Let's see if that connection eventually comes in, as for now, the only real pickups Boom has been getting is Jabs, who again is bottom net worth so far, and maybe sometimes the supports. Not the most meaningful ones. You mentioned it earlier, they need to find a way to stop TA2000 somehow. We'll see again if they'll find that angle. As it's Abed and Q on the hunt. They've got the Kaya up on Abed. Lots of burst damage on this Timbersaw ready to go.
They're looking for Ghost. They might just find him too if Ghost hangs around that top side of the map. Oh, he's looking to get close to that tier 2 tower, but they might have the burst potential if they can get an initial stun off here on Ghost. Chains forward, Ghost being slowed up, and my god, it's too much damage. Never mind that stun I talked about, John. Not necessary.
Certainly not. Get the big target down again. Ghost still been struggling to farm. They'll find one more Mac.
Mac? What the hell was he doing? I'm guessing they were trying to jump in for a kill onto TA2000, but with just Mac and Tims, there was no chance of that happening.
I think they were trying to siege tier 1 with FBZ on hand. They backed off a bit early. Maybe Mac's roll got blocked off. It just looked like everyone else was already on their way back, and Mac just commits, stays in the area a little bit too long to can just use his mobility out. 9-4 start here for Aurora. 5k lead very early on with an Alchemist draft. And it's not just the Alch popping off in that word. Abed is farming up a Storm as well on the Timbersaw. Already working onto the BKB. And look at Aurora's position. So far forward, hunting down one more in DJ.
The DJ's gone. Abed will happily take that. I mean, they're trying to hunt down TA2000 in the meantime, but they're just not really willing to dive too deep into that southern side of the jungle. And of course, the tier 1 bottom tower is still standing, which is why they don't want to go down that route. You've got to secure the bottom tier 1 before you start overtaking that area of the map. And well, it's already too late anyway. TA2000, he's got the Radiance up now. He'll go into that triangle. He'll just farm up Ancients instead. And there's not too much you can do about it.
Well, again, very reminiscent of game 1. Boom. And they have a little bit better time in lanes, but they're still not able to invade triangle. They're not able to prevent these stabs from being taken away by TA2000. And like I said in draft, this Alchemist is going to outpace your Luna even faster in this game in comparison to the Wind Ranger from the last. You've got that Spirit Vessel up on Mac, but we haven't really seen its impact yet. See if this smoke pans out. Might have been scouted out by the creep on the edge of vision there.
Yeah, Mac, he's moving in. They might at least find Q. Roll is there. It is on point. Q, he'll get the kick back, and it seems like that should be a nice easy kill. Though Q trying to cookie onto the low ground, but it's not going to work out. So they will secure another support pickoff for themselves, but that's really going to be about it.
Yeah, not the most meaningful one, but you'll take what you can get right now on Boom. Still need to buy space out for Ghost of Farm, who it doesn't feel like he has a lot of safe map space. He's been tortured up top. He's been diving deep into his jungle. He's trying to hug the ancient side on the right as well. But it doesn't feel like this Luna has anywhere to actually try to build up. And again, you have FBZ barely above Jabs, who's had a very slow game himself. The orb build-up here for the Visage just not lining up the same way as it did for Jabs in the last game. Drums are up, so you can try to maybe play around with familiars, look for a siege or maybe more aggressive fight off the back of that. But the durability aspect for FBZ just isn't quite there yet. In comparison to Jabs, who's just naturally durable with a buff, rum buff, with the X, with his facet, along with Ghost Ship on top. You don't have that much to be scared of on Aurora with committal. Smoke out, have their own drums on cavalry flying up. Again, Abed just does so much damage if anyone shows up here.
Oh, FBZ. Oh, the full ball. Scatterblast going to connect. FBZ is gone. I mean, Max rotated with the smoke along with Tim's and DJ, but it's all too late. Like, without the Visage up, you're not going to find the kills you're looking for. At least they left the familiars, so he can farm with those in the meantime.
I'm just humble.
But it's a very, very tough time for Boom Esports thus far. And John, don't think I didn't notice you said Divin instead of Dove in that previous paragraph you were reading out. Divin is not a word, sir. I believe you meant Dove.
English is a language formed by people communicating, Mike, and communication is formed by words that we apply meaning to, Mike. If I can't make a word and apply my own meaning to it, what's the point of communication? What's the point of language? Language is malleable. It's changeable. It's driven by us. It's not set in stone. You've got new terms such as Riz, Skivity, Yat. Language evolves. And Droven, or Doven? What did I say? I don't even remember.
You said Divin. Yeah.
Divin.
Divin.
If I christen it a word, it can be so, Mike.
It sounds like a new slice of cold meat or something, you know? Divin, something like that. Anyway, moving on. Aurora. Mac. He's alright. He's fine, he's not going to go too deep. Aurora, they will reveal themselves anyway, and that's going to allow Mac to escape. The issue again is, John, I mean, TA2000's been farming for the past 16 minutes completely uncontested. I'm not sure Boom have the kind of roster that can, rather the kind of draft that can deal with this Alchemist 10 minutes from now. Maybe even 5 minutes from now. Maybe even just now.
I would say just now is probably the right call. It does look like TA2000 is very close to what seems to his Manta flying in. So Spirit Vessel's not going to be concerned any longer. FBZ, another free pick in here. Welcome back to Southeast Asia.
Yeah, that Ahmed's giving him the welcome back with the voice lines, and well, there you go. Tier 2 top tower. Welcome back.
Nah, just poking off it. I feel like your inner thoughts. You said the quiet part out loud there, Mike, when you said roster.
Oh, shut up, John.
You said a quiet part out loud, my friend. Yeah, your thoughts are leaking.
I'm not going to deny anything anyway, John. It is what it is. They can prove me wrong. Mac, he's going to rotate down bottom. I mean, they're going to see TA2000 if they keep going south, but again, I question whether he actually dies. He's got a full Manta up, he's got a Radiance up, he's got stick charges. And I mean, they're going to have a look around, like they'll see the creep wave, or rather the camps have been cleared out. Problem is, TA is right by his T2 tower now. Are they going to jump? I don't think this is a very smart idea. They're going to try. TA2000, Eclipse has been popped, he'll drop the ultimate, and is it going to be enough? It will be. They'll get him. The old hit and run, it works out this time around for Boom. They've got the answers. They'll give up Tim's, but it's well worth the trade.
It is. Even Tim's managing to stall out a little bit, and that snowball at the end. You're more than happy. That's the kind of kill we needed to see from Boom maybe 8 minutes ago, is when we were expecting that kind of play. But it does come out now, and if they can keep doing that maybe 2 or 3 more times, the game can even out. Issue is just trying to find TA2000 in that same manner. TA2000 as well was forced to Manta style a little bit earlier, but if he's allowed to farm into the BKB, that's not going to happen again. It just won't. Yeah, your window is slim here on Boom. Let's see if they can maintain that aggression somehow. Retake some map controls. They are lacking a little bit of forward vision right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You will need that to keep the hunt going. The farm up here for Ghost, he has managed to catch up with Abed. At the very least, just 1k behind now on this Luna into his own BKB. So is going for a little bit more defense here on Ghost in comparison to game 1, where I believe it was the phylactery coming out much earlier on. So he does understand that there's a lot of concern in the middle of these fights. They've also got Roche control on Boom, and with the Luna on hand, there is damage to get this done. Along, of course, with the drums out from FBZ and his familiars.
Well, here we go, Roshan. It's melting, but the cavalry is on the way. Aurora, do they have an idea this is happening? It seems like they do. They'll scout it out. Roshan lost maybe a quarter of its HP, and that's it. They're TP out. They don't want the fight. Smart choice.
Yeah, pretty cheeky out from Kaori, sending the creep forward early on. Center creep gets the stun, finds him out, and they just can't clear Roche. Now it's a daytime Roche coming down bot as well, so you lose the nighttime advantage for vision here from Ghost with Luna, and Aurora can just easily run down this Roshan themselves. Boom could try to contest, but the biggest success we've seen from them is, again, a very isolated pickoff onto TA2000. A wider team fight just does not bode well here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Roshan going down very quickly here to Aurora. Well, sadly for the side of Boom Esports, they'll have to settle for their own Tormentor instead. Yeah, a Shard's pick up here for DJ.
Fallen to the Radiant.
Still looking pretty tough. I mean, it's still 13 to 6, 8k advantage the way of Aurora. Of course, a lot of that advantage is simply the Alchemist that you have on your side of things. But now with an Aegis up, he's almost got a BKB available. And it certainly starts to feel like Boom Esports are going to have some problems very, very soon here with the side of Aurora just starting to run at them.
Dire's bottom tower.
And on the bright side, like, Ghost has still farmed very, very well. He's still kept up very nicely and almost has a BKB of his own.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And it seems though they do have enough damage with the Eclipse being thrown out in the middle of a team fight, so see if it works out for him.
For now, I mean, for a while ago, it was a lot of damage. Again, you're starting to get into your own BKBs here. For Aurora, Abed already has his own. You're going to get your BKB up for TA2000, about 800 gold, not that much time for the Alchemist. And of course, that was, again, a very isolated play onto the Alch, without anything like, say, the Ghost Ship buff coming in. So, TA2000, outside of a vacuum where he's by himself, I don't know if Eclipse is still going to be enough with all of these saves coming out from Aurora's end. A little bit of a siege onto the mid-tier 2. One outer tower left here for Boom is, we do find Tim's.
I mean, he does have a snowball to play with, but that's about it. And there's nothing really to snowball to apart from the heroes that are there. So he will drop. No kind of punishment to come out from Boom either. Like, the best they're doing right now is just creep skipping the mid lane. That they already did lose the tier 2 mid tower anyways, so it doesn't really matter so much. It seems that they're just going to continue the farm game here, Boom. Just continue buying themselves a bit more time to allow themselves maybe an opportunity to go for a 5-man smoke. Again, you do have Ghost having a BKB up in about 200 gold from now. I don't think it's going to solve all their problems, but it is something. And speaking of BKBs, well, there's TA2000s. An immediate smoke out with TA2000 as soon as he has that BKB available.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, they still have Aegis for 2.5 minutes here on TA2000. There's not too much to be scared of. And BKB on Ghost will stall things out just a little bit more, but I mean, I feel like these BKBs on Aurora just do a lot more damage to Boom than the BKB of Ghost does to Aurora overall. See this flank?
They're looking for the fight. Oh, FBZ. Just getting caught out in that area once again. TA, he's going to find the vision as well. This Visage just absolutely melting here. And Aurora, I mean, they're definitely looking at that mid-tier 3 tower. They know that there's not really much in the way of stopping them with this Aegis up for another 2 minutes.
Nope. Really nothing to stop them. Boom. No options for the high ground team fight. I mean, they could try with Macro Fire once that's back up on DJ, but they're not even putting bodies forward. Only Mac showing back in the base, kicking some stones to try to stall. Mid-set Rack's just pretty much set to go. And Boom just accepted. A little bit of a pause out from Boom. FPS drop from Mac this time.
Oh, come on now.
That's a new one.
Come on now. I mean, how many FPS did we lose? Mac, come on. It's just... Oh... Oh, hey, what are the PCs like at Boom Esports headquarters?
No one's in boot camps right now, Mike. I will say this. I can say this out loud. No, none of our teams are in boot camps. So these are all their personal PCs, personal problems, personal mouse issues, personal internet issues. You know, we can't blame our managers. You know, no pointing hands at the new Boom manager, Nathan.
Wait, he's Boom's new manager?
Yeah, it's Nate from Blacklist. Oh. He's moved on to Boom.
Congratulations, Nate.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for your loss. One way or the other, Nate. I'm not sure yet. Shout out to I like Nate. Nate's a good guy. I like Nate. He had to deal with us trash-talking Blacklist for the last year, so he's a good guy.
No, he's had to deal with us talking about Blacklist for at least 2 years, I believe, at this point. So
it was something. Time flies when you're having fun, John.
Yes, you want to call it fun. 15-6. I don't know if this is fun for Boom either. 13k lead for Aurora. 1 racks down for Boom. I don't think we've even seen the BKBs fly on whatsoever from Aurora. Yes, still fresh BKBs. TA2000 is still literally fresh. Abed has had his for a while. It's still not popped open. Just no reason to. Boom has not presented a team fight where the BKBs are even necessary at this point.
No. Here we go. It's one of those games where it really does feel like Aurora could just group up and go through the top lane. And that there really wouldn't be much in the way of stopping them. Because I think they'll play it safe as they always do and just wait for the next Aegis perhaps before they go high ground again, because why wouldn't you? But I can certainly see a world where they get a pick off and they just go for the high ground again. Especially if that pick off has no buyback. There's Abed? Sir, you're a bit far forward. He'll pop a BKB and chain away. The chase is on. Abed's still chaining out of there though. In fact, now the team fight might just turn if they're not too careful. Abed's out just fine. Here comes the chase from Cowrie of all people. Throw a cheeky little impetus towards Mac and oh, here he is. TA2000 lands a 2-man stun. This is the big problem. A cookie to land to 2 as well. And Mac is just gone. So is Tims. No surviving this one, Tims. And there you go. I mean, Abed, I want to say he was baiting John. I highly doubt he actually was, but it works out.
And it does. I guess Abed really just wanted to use his BKB and have a reason to do so. And the only way he could find a reason is running into 4 to 5 heroes by himself. He did manage to get a charge out. I mean, he bought the item. He's going to use it, Mike.
Yeah, he almost killed Ghost. He may have actually just killed Ghost. Ghost? Is he just dead? No, he's got a BKB in run. But now there's no BKB if you want to force a fight on this high ground defense. Here we go. Chemical Rage back up in 4 seconds. They can keep going here, Aurora. There is literally no reason to back. Apart from their own BKBs being on cooldown, but I mean, really, who cares? Arbit has his back up anyway.
Oh,
here we go. Mac gets X'd up. Mac is gone. Snowball, it buys a bit of time, but... Oh, Mac? He's alive.
Oh.
No, he's dead. Never mind. I lagged for a moment there, John. My FPS dropped. FBZ, in trouble. FBZ's gone. Can I get a pause, John, if my FPS drops? TA2000.
No, you cannot.
Well, they've got an X out on Ghost. Maybe Arbit's gone a bit too far again, though Arbit does not seem afraid whatsoever, as now they're looking to dive the fountain by the looks of it. They'll pay respect and back off, but not before they try to kill Tim's. Here comes a roll back into the Ench. Cowrie might die for this, so Cowrie, he's healing up just a little bit, but finally does go down. As Mac, he's trying to find some more targets. They'll go on to Jabs. They'll try for the Kunkka. They might just have it, but here comes TA2000 again. Jabs will survive. Mac the one in danger. Tara will land. Mac is gone. They'll find the Kunkka at the very least, but TA2000 cannot be killed. He's good. So Boom Esports... do they defend? I mean, there's no... You can't go for the tier 3 bottom tower anyway.
Yep. And there's still the tier 2. They hang on here, Boom. They find some kills, and that's worth a decent chunk of gold despite some buybacks coming out here for Boom on Mac and FBZ. They're holding out. The only reason they found those kills, to be fair, was that Aurora were getting a little bit cheeky, wanting to force a GG call.
Not again. He's a top player, FBZ. He felt like he was about to die another time.
Oh. Yeah, Ipul has not had himself a good game on hand here, unfortunately. Again, the lane just not working out the way you want it to. The Ench having a lot more play against this Tusk. Oh, Abed.
That's a big pick-up if they can get it. Abed, oh, he's gone. That's a big one. Boom Esports, they were very patient, waiting behind those trees in the mid lane. They even had the vision down, just waiting for Arbit to pop up, and they'll get a very, very tasty kill.
That they do. This could be an opportunity. Still a minute until Roshan is back up here on the side of Boom. Oh, okay, I have to make an exception. Aurora, my friends on Aurora reached out and said, hey, reminder, we're at boot camp. I forgot to mention everyone but Aurora are in boot camp. Right. Because, well, you can't have Cowrie and TA2000 playing at home into Southeast Asia. That would be kind of insane.
Who's the friend? Who's snitching? Who's snitching?
It's Elise, and Neil was also messaging a while ago as well, as they get a punch.
Oh, Q does get caught. Q is down. Well, there you go. Shout out to Aurora for having their players at the team house. Very good.
Yeah. Again, I do. They did show TA2000 saying that the dried mangoes are no bueno. So
yeah, we'll sort him out. We'll have a chat with him afterwards. TA2000 jump in. They're going to go after the Luna here. TA may have gone a bit too far himself, but he's looking pretty damn confident. They'll drop the snowball. They'll get the punch out. Ghost, he'll pop the Eclipse, trying to go on to Jabs, but he needs to find another target. In fact, he'll try to run away. Instead, they'll leave DJ behind. The Jakiro has been lost, but they do get everybody else out of there. So not a bad retreat whatsoever here from Boom.
That it is. They managed to bail out and get some action outside of their high ground a little bit. They don't manage to make progress in objectives, but maybe that's a little bit optimistic. Again, Roche was the closest thing at a minute away. Just couldn't stall for more time. And it is back up. Aurora are in a position where they could take it down bot. See if that's something they want to consider before cleaning up onto the tier 2, tier 3 bot. Boom. Can't afford to give away ages. If they do, the high ground hold just feels next impossible. Like, the next time they dive high ground like that, I don't think TA2000 can be as scared as he was, not falling through with Abed's forward movement. I'll take a Tormentor on their side here for Boom. Get that freebie shard up for Mac. So, a little bit of a grab back with the Geomagnetic, at the very least. Unfortunately, again, doesn't have the facet where you roll over your teammates to grief them. So, no pull back into roll, which is hilarious. But Roshan, once again for Aurora, opens up. Aegis plus Roche Banner coming out here. High ground siege should be very straightforward with this on hand. And Boom are in a position to contest.
Roshan, not going to last at all. There it is. Aegis up for TA2000 once again. He'll put the blink in the backpack for now. It seems like it might be about that time to run through the bottom lane and secure yourself some mega creeps if you are Aurora. But he'll TP into the mid lane and just sort out the creep wave with an X-Back. But they are certainly looking to commit all the way here. I don't believe TA2000 will bother waiting for the Swift Link to be up.
No real point waiting that long. Yeah, you really don't have too many worries here for TA2000. It's just a little bit of a bonus once he does get that Swift Link up. Tier 2 will fall with no contest. Boom, gonna be holding on to that last Tier 3, the last set of racks here. And Ghost trying to still find farm where he can. Very close to having a full Satanic up. And that is some good news here for the Luna, at the very least. Still lacking about 570 gold.
Here we go. Oh, they're doing it this way. The X-Back plays TA2000, not taking any risks whatsoever. Gonna play it nice and safely here, Aurora. X is back up if TA wants to go again, but they're gonna wait for the creep wave. In fact, maybe they are going for the Swift Link first.
Well, that is in Aurora's branding. I mean, with how their gameplay goes, this is classic Aurora. Play it safe. No reason to throw away a game that you've got a 16k lead on, 21 to 10 kill lead on.
This is exactly why everyone's at the team house, John. Because if anyone tries to be a hero in their games, they just get a quick slap across the neck from some. That's all it is.
Yeah, not a slap across the neck. Maybe a karate chop, eh? A little bit more.
How dare you?
A little bit more style. Somebody's. I mean, a slap is nice, but I can imagine somebody chopping heads. A little watch out, you know? Go all hardcore mode, disciplinarian mode.
I'd never imagined
I don't know
somebody doing karate chops, Jonathan. I'll be honest.
Oh, I'm sure he has, Mike. It's not outside. Nothing is outside the realm of possibilities for Sunday.
Right.
This is the
Aurora.
classic Southeast Asian Dota I haven't seen in a while. Smoke out, at the very least for Boom. See if they can actually take a fight outside, because if they can, we could see another 10 minutes added to this timer here, Mike.
I mean, there's Arbed. Like, they did spot out the Timbersaw. Can they kill him, though? Like, he's got the Shivers up, he's got a BKB up. Hell, he even has an Arcane Rune bottled up. They'll see him once again. Ice Path to start. They'll try to lock him down as best as possible before the BKBs can come out, but Arbed still gets it off in time and gets away! Oh, they can't kill him! And he's gonna jump back in on a Mac. They're out of fuel. Mac trying to get out, but the impetus shots are gonna be enough from Cowrie. Oh, what do you do? What can you do, Jonathan? It happens. You know, they tried.
They tried. And this, the Ag's blessing you do have on hand from Abed is just obnoxious. A little bit more barrier that you have to try to burst down. Gives him a window to zip away. Opens up the high ground now for TA2000, knowing Mac requires down, Eclipse is down. Nothing can scare the here too much for TA2000. Yeah, they just siege away.
Nice and easy. Stun channeled up here by TA. And that looks like it's Tim's that's going to die in a moment. Tim's is certainly looking pretty dead, though he gets a snowball off in time, but is still gone. As Ghost pops his BKB, but needs to run. Tim's will buy back. Mac is back up in 1 second. TA2000, he's out of Chemical Rage now. He's in a bit of danger. Keep in mind, he still has an Aegis for another minute. Mac's going to roll in. He's going to try and find some targets. A very nice magnetize, but Mac has gone too far, and Mac is dead. They are still trying for the Arc, but he still has an Aegis up. They'll lose DJ instead. Q will try. Q does go down. They'll at least find the Snapfire. Can they find a little bit more? They've bought on DJ. But it looks like the buyback will not work out as Abed's going to jump back in onto FBZ. And FBZ, I mean, he's just petrified right now. He's in stone form. But he's probably just as good as dead. As Tim's in trouble again. DJ looking to buy back, or rather die back, and he does. And here comes Ghost trying one last time, but that's all he is, John. He's a Ghost now.
Bottom barracks are under attack.
That
GG.
is GG's called. Really great plays coming out there from Aurora, especially at the end fights. Looking up that fight well. Saw a good Torrent back along Torrent and Tidal Wave combination coming in from jabs. And Aurora again, they work out some pretty strong lanes for